we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We back.
Yeah, and we want to talk about why J. Cole is still in the top 3 of rap and introduce his newest mixtape. What is it? The Blizzard?
Birthday Blizzard 26.
Birthday Blizzard 26. I was about to say like Dunkin' Donuts. Not Dunkin' Donuts, but like...
DQ
Blizzard. Big back quotes.
Wow.
So it's been 2 years since Might Delete Later, his last mixtape album. I call it album. I don't think it's a mixtape. His last album that he put out, and people have been waiting for the fall off ultimately. And so he made the announcement a few weeks ago and shared track 2 from disc 2, and then said that the fall off is coming on February 2nd, which is very timely. It's around the Grammys times, around the Super Bowl time, and it's the perfect opportunity for us to talk about why he's still in the top 3, even though that situation from 2 years ago would have put him out of it. You want to elaborate more about that?
Yeah, it's February 6th. You said second.
Oh, did I say second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was like, are we getting it earlier than I thought?
I was just thinking 222. That's all I was thinking. 222. Anyway, I can't.
The sound needs to come up. But I think that the elaboration is as to why he's still in the top 3 for his rollout by using Birthday Blizzard 26 is because he allowed himself to fall off in the public's eye. Mm-hmm. And I think he is using every piece of that to his advantage to make this one of the greatest album rollouts in a very long time.
Yeah, and I think that fall off, to your point, being purposeful, and the way that he is starting to share his music and share his content is more so, and I think we're going to touch on this when we do the review of the album, more so an opportunity for him to shine. So let's really get into the lyrics and why we think that he's still the top 3 in rap, regardless of what happened during the Drake and Kendrick beef. You want to start off with something from Bronx Zoo freestyle? What are you feeling?
I thought it was very timely that we just did a video essay about Joe Budden, and he goes, "Living ghetto fab like my brother Paul Kane," and I was like, those are the Desert Storm days that I was talking about, where DJ Clue was bringing out Fab and Paul Kane and Joe Budden and all of these people, and the mixtape energy was like through the roof. He literally brought that back. Yeah. And we talked about that at length. So go ahead and check out that video of the video essay about why Joe Budden is way ahead of his time all the time. For me, on Bronx Zoo, it's really talking about like the top ain't really what I thought it would be. So I jumped off and landed back at the bottom. Right, this is our situation where we're talking about like he got there, and he's like, well, when I got here, I didn't feel like it was special. I felt like I was just gonna have to keep reaching up, right? Like the rest of that bar is, and restarted at a level where I wasn't regarded as much, just to climb past them again and tell them all to keep up. Like I still feel like even though he experienced what he did during the beef and had to like apologize and retract that
freestyle, he's still there. He hasn't declined in his opportunities, his skill, or anything regarding, J. Cole. We still talk about him in the same way. There's a few people that still hate on him because of that. But I feel like he's still going to do numbers the same way he's done in the past.
And he addresses even that, which is the no nowadays you make a great commentating either if you master two skills, either D-riding or hating. And that's what I think the hysteria around him is, and what I think he palpably used very well in this opening track.
Yeah, and there's two connection points here, right? So not only like he's talking about commentators, folks that have entered the podcasting business and now make their bread and butter from doing all of this, like you said, yapping and parlaying.
That line was even more so detrimental because it's not just parlaying in terms of discussion. Like a lot of these rappers and people are now promoting all the gambling aspects in their parlays, and so doing these 1, 2, 3 parlays that are encouraging gambling in this day and age in a way that I feel like is gonna have some huge ramifications soon.
That's the double entendre of it all. But what I was saying is, like, he talked about folks yapping, right, and going into podcasting and doing these things. Ironically, this mixtape was announced by Jada on the Joe and Jada show, and it's mainly because like the Locks and other artists needed to clear some of the beats, or they heard some of the stuff that was coming out because he uses a bunch of bad boy beats throughout this mixtape. And it's layered, which is, again, why he's in the top 3. I feel like all those decisions are purposeful. The guy that slapped Diddy is now using Diddy beats to like come at the competition. No Diddy, right? and
wow, yo, that's a slap to the face right there.
And he is using it masterfully in a way that like makes the point on the nose, but then has this underlying message that you're gonna have to like unpack and dig deep into as time goes on. So you have a question?
Which I was gonna say, like, I think he shifts that gear into overdrive when we get into the Golden Goose freestyle.
Yeah, so let's do that, right? Where you want to go next regarding that project, like, because we can go into a lot of different places, but I don't know if we're not on the label stuff right now. I feel like we're somewhere else, or unless I'm.
Are we still talking about like who he's addressing?
I think part of it, yeah.
Okay, so we can go there. So I feel like he addresses Kendrick and Drake on a certain level, which I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but the line that caught my eye the most is the catching bodies for my own amusings. Niggas cheating and I won't excuse it. If I said it, then I wrote it, stupid.
Yeah, and what is he saying there?
Like, it's talking about the ghostwriting, right? And he's saying people cheating, and he don't want to excuse that. Like, there are people who are having their bars written for them. Like, if I said it, you know that I wrote it. And there's been a lot of rappers who mention that, but the only rapper I think about in terms of ghostwriting is Drake. Anybody else, whether it's from Diddy to Dre, to other artists that have had, even Kanye, that have had bars written for them, Travis Scott, like, nobody talks about them the same way.
So I wonder, and this is just a question out there, we don't have to answer it at the moment, but like, I really wonder his respect for Drake and the reason why he went on tour with Drake. Does he feel like Drake is one of these people that don't write it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm assuming if he has respect for Drake, he knows that Drake writes his bars, and the allegations about Drake are false.
I think it's more of a personal relationship thing with them. Like,
so he doesn't care whether or not Drake is writing his own stuff?
I don't think so. Just because I think there are times where maybe he understands how the business works, but J. Cole also is a huge anarchist to the business in terms of what he doesn't like about it in the industry. So I just think that they have a relationship based off of, you know, personal building and the early touring and stuff that is separate of what he might think of him artistically.
So let's keep going, right? Because Drake is a perfect segue for the Universal conversation.
Yes.
For crumbs, dumb niggas sold their soul to Lucian. Universal distribution, I own the music. So like, ooh, he's throwing a lot of people under the bus in this situation. Mm-hmm. And if you really gonna be real about it, right? That's Drake, that's Kendrick, that's whoever else is rapping on Universal, that Lucian still has their masters.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm wondering so much so, like, why he, in addressing people, Cole is always very careful. Mm-hmm. He's very, you get the point, but you don't get the subject matter. Yeah. In terms of like who he's directing whatever to. And it could be the whole game, but it's like there are so many people who don't have the same level of like authority where it would even matter. Are we just like grouping in all of the lower class rappers who wouldn't even be in the conversation for top three? Or are you alluding to the top three?
I think if he was aiming for somebody specific, he would have said it. Okay. I think he's bold enough to say that. Okay. What I don't think is they are strong enough not to respond to it.
Oh.
If it is a direct shot, right? Yeah. Hypothetically, I believe those people would be too fragile not to like step out there and respond to it.
Good point.
So let's keep going because like there's more here, right? The streams say you're winning, but your tours is losing, and there's some people on the internet that claim that this is a direct Drake shot. Mm-hmm. But I think he's talking about the whole game. There are very few people that are selling out arenas. There are very few people that can go on tour that aren't playing the streaming. There are very few people that can go on tour right now. Mm-hmm. Because everybody is playing the streaming game, boosting with bots, selling merch in order to sell records. Like, he is talking about the whole game, mm-hmm. in my opinion. And back to your point, don't gamble with your life because the apps is cruising, right? Like, he's analyzing all the ills wrong with the industry and telling us why he is getting out in order to start his new beginning and why he's still top three regardless.
So let's this is one of my favorite lines. You took it, but the Winter Storm freestyle has one of the most subtle but poignant anime bars ever.
Read it.
Okay. Which is Cole's getting older but grows new abilities. You didn't know him, Zeno, with Goku ability.
Agility.
My bad.
Yeah.
And that was like, it's basically, I control this universe and I also can throw hands on this mic.
Right.
And that's like, if you don't get the references, it will kind of lack the impact. Yeah. But once you do,
I'll put a link.
Yeah.
you can Wikipedia or whatever. You'll learn very quickly if you're not an anime fan.
But it's really dope. I thought that was like a moment where he was really showing the difference in terms of like how learned he is. Mm-hmm. But why was it the bar you picked?
I think it's kind of what you're saying. It's the ultra instinct of it all, but like still like, hey, well, I mean, in the anime, for folks that don't know, Zeno is like this kind of universal controller type of being, and can zap universes and realms out of existence, even if he's just having a good day. And Goku learns how to channel his like most his most powerful Ultra Instinct ability from working or following or channeling Zeno. And so it was impactful for me because like Cole has that Ultra Instinct, and he knows like how to manipulate his world.
I like the way you broke that down. Way better than what I said. There was a bar in here. Never mind. I just be conflicted sometimes about like little bars and shots that J. Cole will do that can come off a little or a lot misogynistic in a certain way. And it don't seem to like... It's always happened throughout his career, but I also feel like it just doesn't necessarily fit his character. And there were a couple bars in there in that Winter Storm freestyle that I was like, man.
I mean, there's a few bars throughout the whole thing that kind of lean in that direction. And so sometimes we're like, all right, Cole, what you mean? This? You know what I mean? Especially as a married dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because he says so many, like, he uses his bars and his cadences and the syllable structure very well on this, which I'm like, oh no, the fall off is going to be immaculate if he's going into all of these different pockets. But let's get to what I feel like is the most crucial aspect of this.
Yeah.
Which is the 99 Bill freestyle.
Is there anything in any of these bars that that we have that are, what would be the most important out of these two? You can just tell me the first or second one. Just so we don't leave it out. All right, let's go to that last then.
Okay. So let's start with yours and the one that you enjoy. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so he said, I had my chance, but I dropped it, which means my only option is to do the opposite than lead with the skill. And it's... people say he missed an opportunity to get into the battle. I think him stepping away was the smartest thing to do at the time. And had he been thinking with like this Ultra Instinct ability that he had built up, he wouldn't have entered it in the first place.
Yeah, and I also, like I told you before, I think the conversations in this will lead into the second bar, but the conversations around it, right? So they made it seem like there was something wrong with him choosing to not engage people that he actually has respect for and friends and all this nature. He did it off of a whim of just the general peer pressure, thinking that it was going to be bars. And
thinking that it was going to be sales. And I feel like the people around him also think that like, yo, the way to make it is to go ahead and enter into this thing, go ahead and prove that you're the best, even though you know it. But like, let's go ahead and do this so we can cash this quick bag off of this beef and release this album on a high note.
Cause that anyway. But the line I think that was the most poignant that even amps up the one that you did was, if hip hop is back, JID should chart platinum. Anything less than that, it means y'all capping. And that was my biggest takeaway from the beef, was everybody is saying Kendrick won, which he did. And that should mean that there is a shift, that y'all really like lyrics and like people that rap and like people that construct bars their way and are not just making party music. Oh, I see. Joey Badass didn't sell well. Simba didn't sell well. Reason's not selling the same way. JID's album didn't go. So it wasn't about the bars. It was just about the controversy and somebody that you don't like.
Right.
So I appreciate his calling the audience to the forefront and saying it's just like, y'all capping. Like it's not about hip hop being back or the bars or whatever. And we'll kind of see, because I mean I feel like rappers responded this year, whether it was like, or last year, whether it was the Clips and everybody else, and we'll kind of see what the Grammys do. But that will be a kind of a marker to me as to whether or not there's any sort of truth to what y'all say is back.
I think even now even though that audience is totally wrong, right? We're talking about the general purpose audience, so to speak. Those audience members are so lazy when it comes to like their consumerism, so to speak, that I think you have to separate them even from the people that wanted bars. You can't bucket those two people together.
Okay.
Because this like one of our side conversations about early adopters, and then like the people that like to like keep things status quo. Those status quo people were into that beef for the negative reasons. The early adopters, the enthusiasts, were into that beef because of rap. Yeah, and they like to see rap.
True. Because I didn't jump out until I was like, ooh, y'all getting too personal for me. Y'all not like, this ain't a sparring session. This is y'all trying to talk to each other.
Right.
Like, this ain't battle rap, G, but it's definitely battle rap. So,
and I think for people that are enthusiasts that are on the cusp of like knowing everything that's new, this is exciting. And
yeah,
in my opinion, I think I would just say like J. Cole is right about the situation or what occurred, but applying it maybe to the wrong audience. But that still doesn't make him less than top 3. It just makes him intuitive enough to know how to keep his position.
I also think that the reason he's still top 3 is majority because he understands both audiences that he's catering to. The rollout structure that he has feeds into the fall off narrative. The mixtape aspect of him doing it feeds into the older people that are in it. He's still rapping, you know, bars that I think the younger people would connect to and relate to in a way that is not like he doesn't get it anymore. He's not going all the way into completely quote unquote grown man bars where it just sounds like, well, you don't have a 401k or whatever it is that you might have in the grown adult bars. He is just using his intelligence and the genius that I think we don't give him credit for these rollouts that he's had. So that's why I think he's still top 3. But what do you all think?
Yeah.
Let us know down in the comments. Cannot wait for the fall off. It's going to be here very soon. You will get our review very soon. Yeah. So we'll see you guys in the next piece. A 1 and a 2 and peace.